What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Join Dota League Season 4. This is going to be one of those Division 1/2 matches. We're still in Season 4, yet Season 5 is right around the corner. I believe it starts in like 3 days or 5 days. Not exactly sure what the dates are on that, but so far in the EU part of the JDL, London Conspiracy, 4ASC, have passed on. This is going to be one of the 4 remaining games in Division 4. I think they're fighting for one more spot. So we had HEHE versus xGame KZ for this one. Winner goes on to face basically unknown, and then the winner of that faces either Balkan Bears or Goomba. So those are the teams still in the pool. Good luck to all of them. We'll see who gets to actually come away with the win. But for right now, it's going to be HEHE versus xGame, and HEHE, they've been progressively playing with more and more stand-ins. I don't know if that's like an issue with how their team is doing, or if that's just something that's happening today. For what I've seen of them, they've been progressively playing with more stand-ins. xGame playing with Vlad and Bignum, as they have for the past couple of days over in the Bryden League, and they've been tearing it up. So, though HEHE have made it this far, and versus xGame, it'll be like, oh, they both made it about the same distance. xGame are probably a little bit favored to take this series, though HEHE, they are no slouches. They have a mean Wisp player, and that's why we see the IO being banned out first slot, but HEHE, they're also a team that loves their Troll Warlord, probably more so than all the other teams. Been seeing them play this one before it was cool. Like, they're Troll Warlord hipsters, pretty much, and it works out so damn well for them so often. Together with Faceless Void, man, that's some serious combination. Battle Trance into Time Lock, oh man, you get some serious value and things die real quick. It's beautiful. But for xGame, they're going to grab Dazzle and Juggernaut. Not as, overtly late game powerful. It's a little bit more in the early game focus. Juggernaut, of course, has that early game spin damage. Not really going to be too useful as an escape tool, unfortunately for him, versus the dual bashers of both Faceless Void and Troll Warlord. Going to make things a little bit difficult. If he wants to do that classic spin TP, well, you can get the spin part down, but probably not the TP part, so that's a little bit of a sucky situation there. But Dazzle, hopefully going to lend a hand in that. A good answer to the Faceless Void already is usually you want to have the Vengeful Spirit to, bail whoever's caught in that Chronosphere out. You just take them out of the Chronosphere completely. Usually they're no longer in any trouble. Dazzle also kind of does do that job, although it tends to be a little bit more difficult for that to land. So it's a reasonable hero pickup first. I think in general you would want to have someone like Avenge over the Dazzle, but if your Avenge is banned out, then you clearly don't have a choice now, do you? So Juggernaut, Dazzle, a solid opening for the xGame side, and we'll see where they want to go for that. Down the line, it could go pretty much in any direction. There are still very powerful heroes left in the pool. A couple team fight heroes if they want to grab like a Tide Hunter or something like that. Or if they just want to grab just generally powerful heroes and then just see what happens, that's also good. Taking care of the Witch Doctor, probably going to be a good idea from the xGame side. Oh, Scarith Mage, pretty much the same idea there. A little bit more offensive than the Witch Doctor, but basically you don't want to give HEHE any more Faceless Void combinations. I mean, Troll Warlord Faceless is already bad enough as it is. You don't really want to be facing up against all of that, plus a Death Lord, plus a Mystic player. Yeah, that's not good times. HEHE, though, they're just going to ban out generally strong heroes. No huge synergy here. Heal Bomb on the Wolves sometimes might be relevant, but more often than not, it's not going to be happening.
10 seconds remaining.
So xGame, Juggernaut might be played by Mantis, although it is a possibility that Mantis is going to take someone who's a little bit more of a hard carry. Generally, the way xGame like to roll is that they do like to play the slow and steady game, get Mantis a little bit more farm. And it looks like it's going to be a Zeus for xGame. Probably going to be given towards Bignum in the mid lane. At least that's how I saw them play it recently. They could shuffle it up, of course. You're running with two stand-ins, you can do whatever you want. But Zeus, as a probably early game hero, gonna signal that xGame are going to be playing this super aggressively. They really don't want this game to drag on. And up against Faceless Void Troll Warlord, if it does get to a late game, you're not gonna win. Like, ever. It's just not gonna happen. So you might as well push your advantage early and often. And in that sense, Zeus is the hero that you really do want. Dazzle, not as much. I mean, he does offer you that kind of a mixed contributions to the team in both defensive and offensive capabilities in that Shadow Wave. A lot of defensive in the Grave, but it doesn't really have that great a synergy with the Zeus Juggernaut until later on. The armor is going to be nice versus Void Troll Warlord, but that's about it with the Weave. But xGame, they're on the track for playing a very aggressive early game, whereas for HEHE, they still have yet to pick up any of their 2 support heroes. You don't really want to grab a Witch Doctor versus Juggernaut because Juggernaut is, a character who could interrupt your death ward. But I think the synergy with the Chronosphere might just be a little bit too good. Whoa. Okay. Now, if you list the top 10 heroes that I thought HEHE were going to pick, or if I had to list the top 10 heroes that I thought HEHE were going to pick, Drow Ranger would not be in the top 10. She would not be in the top 20. Hell, she won't even be in the top 30. She has kind of synergy with the Troll Warlord. Like, generally, for Troll Warlord, I don't know if it's synergy or anti-synergy, actually. Like, sometimes Troll Warlord, most of the time, actually, he wants to be in the melee form. Whenever he's actually in battle trance, he wants to be in the melee form. So, you obviously don't get the extra damage there. You can play it in the range form, and you do about the same damage. Like, you lose a little bit, you gain a little bit, and range will eventually be better with the Faceless Void Chronosphere, but then you lose bashing. Drow Ranger, I'm sure I don't have to tell you guys, but is generally hero better when you grab more and more support heroes. Not more support heroes, more range heroes, sorry. And clearly Faceless Void Troll Warlord going to be sometimes ranged for half of them, but not too much of anything there. xGame, now they're going to be, a pretty clear course is set for them. They could grab someone like a Phantom Assassin or a Slark, anyone to just jump on top of the Drow Ranger and make sure that she's not going to have a lot of space to keep firing those arrows. Those picks are, as I said, Phantom Assassin, Slark are usually going to be the ones that are most often picked up. Storm Spirit is also a good one. Though I don't know if they're going to want to run a Storm Spirit and a Zeus. Lanes might get a little bit crowded. You might have to run like a support Zeus or an off-lane Storm Spirit or something like that. Or your lanes are going to be a little bit messed up should that be the situation that you're forced into. But it's so easy to counter this Drow Ranger now that xGame know about it. And Drow Ranger's not really at her strongest here either way. So it's a questionable pick for HEHE. They're probably going to still go for that Visage next. I mean, that's such a powerful combination. Drow Visage is undeniably like a combo. Like, there are combos in Dota. It's like, oh, well, you get the Chronosphere and the Death Ward. Like, that's a nice combo, but the Drow Ranger Visage is the combo in Dota. So if you're passing that up voluntarily, I don't really know what you're getting instead. xGame, ooh, gonna grab a Beastmaster. Okay, so this is not exactly a hero that is going to serve that job that I just described. He's not exactly going to get in the face of the Drow Ranger, at least not often. That's not his primary job. His primary job is to actually interrupt the Troll Warlord and Faceless Void. Like, their farm is going to be mostly protected from HEHE, at least that's what their goal is going to try to be. I expect to see Faceless Void off lane, Troll Warlord mid, Drow Visage +1 in the last lane. But Beastmaster is just a pace-setting hero. With xGame packing Beastmaster and a Zeus, their ability to roam around the map, get kills, and then rinse, repeat until you win the game is going to be really hard to overcome if you're HEHE, because they inherently don't have that much early game. Yeah, their physical damage early on is, pretty high. Drow Ranger does some pretty nice damage early on, especially once you hit 6. Faceless Void, Troll Warlord, all can lay it in with those right clicks. But when you have a Zeus, Juggernaut, Beastmaster bearing down on you, you can't really afford to man-fight that. At least you can't afford to man-fight it that often. If xGame play it safe, if they decide not to dive towers randomly, then this should be a very aggressive game from xGame. They just need now, I believe, one more support, as the Zeus should be playing a core, Beastmaster, Juggernaut should all be playing cores.
10 seconds
although it's not too late to change that. Just another support hero to lay it in. Maybe someone with a stun, seeing as though they are a little bit light on that hard crowd control. Roar is very reliable as a stun, but aside from that, they have a whole bunch of minis, Lightning Bolt, Poison Touch. Does that even have a mini stun? I don't even remember. I think they might have changed that. And, well, the Juggernaut on his side has a mini stun, but Puck is going to be the pick for xGame, so it is going to make the lanes a little bit more difficult for the xGame side to really divvy up. It looks like it is going to be an off-lane Puck. It's going to be a support Beastmaster, and that's a pretty interesting way to go. It is a hero that really only needs levels to get going. Like, he actually could do very well without any items at all. So, in that sense, it's a reasonable way to go. And there's also a very slim chance that HEHE are going to be punishing this Beastmaster. So, as far as, his ability to jungle and pull, stack, stuff like that. So, I think there's a reasonable way to go, although, getting a quick level 6 can really set the pace for the game. Grabbing a Puck for that extra crowd control versus the Faceless Void. Having a hero that could get in the face of the Drow Ranger, not necessarily kill her, but just disrupt her. is going to be of the utmost importance, and Puck is a hero that can very uniquely do that, while at the same time staying alive in those lanes. As I said before, Storm Spirit would have been another alternative for xGame, but then the laning situation would have been even worse, like so much worse. Puck is survivable enough to justify this. So for xGame, that's going to be their last pick, and they're going to grab a Rubik, random support hero, as Rubik it normally is. Has a couple of good things to steal. Roar is fantastic. Omni Slash is pretty darn good. Aside from that, nothing too spectacular, but it's mostly just a ranged support hero for HEHE. They have to play it defensively, and Rubik is going to be that hero that lets them do that. Looks like they might be running into each other for right now, although it doesn't really seem all too likely. Let's see who's going to be playing what as long as these guys calm down. And yeah, it looks like they're going to pass away from each other. So, okay, we got on the HEHE side, Relo is going to be playing the off-lane Faceless Void. Most likely won't be getting Jack. Nico Baby in the mid lane is going to be playing the Troll Warlord with Hawa on the Drow Ranger, Madness Drow Ranger. Aki is going to be on the Visage, and that leaves Nihis on the Rubik. Over on the xGame side, we got Reeves playing the Beastmaster. He's wearing his antlers as a beard, which is not how they're supposed to work. Stallcat is going to be playing the Puck with Bignum on the solo mid. Zeus rushing that bottle, clearly. Mantis is going to be on the Juggernaut, dual laning it up with Vlad's Dazzle. If it's just a dual lane actually up towards top, then the Faceless Void is actually going to have a really good time. He will be able to time walk away from this. Again, there's not really that much hard crowd control for xGame, and there really never will be up on this top lane. They need that Roar, but that Roar isn't going to come out for a very long time. Faceless Void will always be able to time walk away, and Relo should be fine to get at the very least experience. He's going to have to deal with Vlad's poking, but his life isn't really going to be in any serious danger, at least not for a prolonged amount of time. So top lane, yeah, there's going to be a lot of free farm for Mantis, but as far as killing off Relo, that's most likely not going to happen. In fact, Relo man-fighting Vlad, it is probably more likely that, Relo gets a lucky bash out of nowhere, gets a kill on the Dazzle, than the Faceless Void actually dies. So that's the situation up towards the top lane. I expect the Beastmaster to be predominantly jungling. Grabbing the summons at level 1 means that he's going to be reliant on pulling, and that's fine for a couple levels. Wild Axes really lets you do some stacking shenanigans if you're going to be looking to do that. But grabbing Boots first, not really the build I would expect from a Beastmaster who's going to be jungling. Like, his ganking power, level 1 through level 5, is shit. Like, it doesn't actually do anything if you have a Beastmaster on your team. So Boots first to move between camps, I guess, is going to be a little bit useful, but probably a Stout Shield would have served him a little bit better in most situations. I don't really see the value of the Boots right now. They will be happy that he has it later, especially if he wants to go for a medallion or something like that. Down towards bottom lane, that's a good thing I didn't miss First Blood there. Stallcat going to go up against this Drow Ranger defensive tri-lane from HEHE. This is not really the most dangerous tri-lane, especially if you're going to be a Puck, who is going to be able to survive the only one crowd control effect that HEHE has. Soul Assumption is a very easy skill to dodge with a phase shift. Yet regardless, the Puck is probably going to be zoned out eventually. This is 1 CS, but look at this pressure that they're able to apply. Lift back into a Gust, and Stallcat's not going to die yet because there's no Frost Arrow. There's only a couple heroes here. But if Visage was here, then Puck would be dead so many times over, and he has to play this lane very, very carefully moving forward, just because if you give the Drow Ranger an inch, she will make you regret it for the rest of the game. Hell, she'll make the entire team of yours regret it, as Nico Baby's also doing decently over in the mid lane versus Zeus. It's going to be a chip damage war over in the mid lane. But really, the Drow Ranger getting farmed, not really of the utmost importance this game, but she will always be able to, just get in that damage, and that's something that you can very easily avoid if you shut her down early. If you're not easily avoiding it, then you're probably doing something wrong. So Drow Ranger having a good time, but in general, it is xGame to lead the way. Stallcat, though, in a little bit of trouble. Grave Chill is there. Lift, not quite going to be cast, but Stallcat doesn't make it up to high ground. This is going to be First Blood. Stallcat is going to die to Aki. The Puck, sometimes, like, with these types of cliffs, or cliffs in general, it looks like your orb is on top of the high ground, but it's actually not because the orb is lying to you. I can only assume that's what happened there for the Puck. If you get it to the high ground, you're 100% going to escape from that, but if you don't, then you're going to die, as we clearly just saw. So, not surprisingly, it's one of the offlane heroes that's going to end up giving First Blood, but the Puck giving First Blood, not really a terribly huge deal. He needs his levels, yeah, he needs his gold for his level 6, but he'll eventually get that down the line. Troll Warlord taking a beating from Bignum. One more Chain Lightning, or Arc Lightning rather, is going to be thrown, but that won't necessarily get the kill. Troll Warlord is going to be able to last hit pretty decently in this lane, but once Bignum gets these levels up, once he gets level 3 Bolt, hell, once he gets his level 6, then the Troll Warlord really doesn't have a good time here. He can man-fight the Zeus, but the fact that Bolt takes out like half of his HP means that it's very difficult to make that call to man fight, and you're going to draw some lucky bashes if you're going to be coming out ahead. So Nico Baby's going to take chip damage. That's pretty much unavoidable in a Zeus lane. And Bigham, I mean, he's going to be able to do a lot of damage to that troll, but clearly he's not able to completely shut down the troll warlord's farm, as that is something that's pretty difficult to do as a Zeus ever unless you're actively killing your enemies. And without any help, it's probably unlikely that Bigham is going to be actually killing the troll warlord anytime soon. Taking a quick look back up on the top lane, Mantis is doing Mantis things up towards the top lane. He's one of the most efficient farmers. As I say that, he's missing CS. I'm gonna pretend that it never happened, but Faceless Void is, as expected, not having a great time, and Beastmaster only level 2 right now. Getting into a man fight with Relo, probably not a fight that he's going to win, as Puck is demolished once again down towards the bottom, and this time just 2 supports doing it. Puck was weakened to begin with, so that is not exactly a place that you want to be if you are a Puck, and as the Puck feeds more and more, then these supports are going to be larger threats. Soon it's going to be getting to a point where, you know, Aki's going to have that level 6, then things really get dangerous, as Hawa, now left alone versus the 0 enemy lane, is going to be getting guaranteed free farm. That's something that you really don't want to see if you're xGame, that they're going to try to pressure the top lane using the power of the early healing ward. It is only level 1, I believe. Yes, it is. So it's not really going to be doing too much, but it will keep the creep wave alive enough, as they're going to try to put some damage into Relo. Killing this Faceless Void off again is very, very unlikely. Unless they surprise him with a physical damage nuke. But yeah, and Relo has that time walk out. He's not going to die. Top lane tower is going to die, however. There is rotation coming in from Aki. Level 3 Visage can put some serious work in, but not by himself. He really needs more help than just the Rubik. And it's too late anyway. The Juggernaut's going to claim the tower. 1,300 Gs on him. Could be going towards that Mask of Madness. And it won't be the worst build, but up against the Chronosphere, I don't really know if that's going to be the safest thing to do. Maybe grabbing Phase Boots, Power Treads. Okay, just straight Mask of Madness. That's also fine. It's always that YOLO item, and sometimes you just gotta YOLO, guys. Sometimes you just gotta YOLO. That's the way this game works. By the way, tower claims by xGame, a rather early aggressive push from them, but it is something that you can do whenever you have a Juggernaut on your side. Beastmaster, he is going for the summon build, so no additional pushing power coming out from him, at least not yet. Once the Inner Beast comes up, then being able to kill tower is going to be a little bit easier for xGame, but you know, now that the tower is down, they're awkwardly in a situation where they are going to be wandering around, farming jungle camps. This is not really what you want to be doing as any one-position hero. Unless you're like Lycan or someone who could clear it out extremely quickly. Juggernaut does it okay, but you know, with only brown boots, no real damage items except for a Quelling Blade, his clearing is going to be rather slow. Top lane is still being pseudo-farmed by Reeves. Of course, this is a dangerous position for him to be in as bottom lane. Speaking of dangerous positions, Tallcat is going to get obliterated for the 3rd time, this time with the help of the Battle Trance, and Drow Ranger also level 6. So they're attacking very, very hard. What's the damage up to? Plus 26 right now. You know, 3 points in the precision aura with that level 1 marksmanship. You're going to be destroying everyone. Like, it doesn't really matter who's down there for xGame. As long as they get hit by one form of crowd control, whether it's a level 1 Frost Arrow or a level 1 Grave Chill, that is just enough to get the kill unless you have a lot of heroes there to back that one hero up. So this bottom lane for xGame is progressively growing worse and worse, and their top lane is not going, you know, growing in leaps and bounds either. HEHE looking pretty good in this game. The Troll Warlord getting a decent enough farm, has Phase Boots, is pretty much ready to go with his maxed out Whirling Axes, and Hawa has not been, you know, pressured in the least. Like, he has not been touched by anyone ever. He had to deal with the Puck, but 37-17, him and the Troll Warlord, they're leading the way in CS. Though they are down a tower, which is going to skew the net worth just a little bit in favor of xGame. It certainly doesn't seem like xGame are playing this as aggressively as they really should be. As far as taking this late game, it's possible, I suppose. Late game Juggernaut is a very dangerous hero. But you're talking about going up against an off-lane Faceless Void who's still getting levels, a Troll Warlord who's getting a ton of farm, and a Drow Ranger who's getting a ton of farm. Late game, late gaming HEHE is going to be really, really hard if you're xGame. They have Roar and Coil. These are tools that can help you in the late game, but they're not tools that'll instantly make you win unless you're somehow able to burst down the likes of Troll, Faceless Void, which is very difficult. So I'm just going to wait until xGame are going to be looking for that secondary push or a level 6 on Beastmaster. Reeves has been getting quite a bit of experience up in the top lane, using his boar, using just the threat of his positioning to force the HEHE side back from effectively farming the top lane. So Faceless Void, he's going to be very poor for pretty much the entirety of this game, and that's probably not going to change until he gets level 6, which is coming soon. And it is pretty much needed soon, as well, it's going to be HEHE to make an aggressive sort of play down towards bottom. That's not going to result in anything. The level 6 on Reeves is going to allow the HEHE side to actually start doing things, or the xGame side rather, to actually start doing things. As up till now, xGame are pretty much in complete control. Nico Baby in a little bit of trouble. He doesn't really want to man fight Bignum right now, or does he? He has the melee whirling axes still. Bignum has another lightning bolt cooling down though. He's gonna get bashed though, and that's gonna be the kill for Nico Baby. Oh my god, I don't know if it actually just outright led to that kill, but the bash sure as hell helped. And that's what I was talking about. You can chip down the Troll Warlord, but as far as the man fight, you're not gonna win it as a Zeus. It's just not gonna happen. Troll Warlord going to claim the 4th kill for HEHE as xGame. They are on the back foot. They should be the ones leading right now. This Zeus doing a lot of damage, but aside from that, not really doing too much. And your Zeus not doing too much 8 minutes into the game, you know you're going to be hurting. His mana situation is pretty good. I mean, he has the arcane boots, has the bottle. He's ready to go, but you are generally going to be very low mana whenever you're going to be playing as Zeus. And if he had time for a Lightning Bolt, Thunder God's Wrath, that would have been a quick, easy kill on the Troll Warlord, getting xGame on the board, but clearly that just didn't happen. And now up towards top lane, they're going to go. Relo is level 6, and Reeves certainly knows about this, especially when Relo plays this aggressively. Time Walk in, Chronosphere available, but a first hit bash means that you don't necessarily have to drop the Chronosphere just yet. There's an orb coming through. Rubik is closing in, and he's going to get the lift off if needed. Reeves going to throw the roar. Relo holding onto his Chronosphere maybe a little bit too long. Still in range? No, he has to back off. Boar and range creeps now going to go to town onto Relo and Nihis as teleportation sport comes in. xGame are also going to bring in Mantis, looking for that Omni Slash. Won't get it onto Relo, but he sure as hell will get it onto Nihis if needed. One chop, though, is going to get the kill there. And Thunder God's Wrath as well. I think that was mostly trying to kill off Nico Baby because he just killed off the Zeus for the 2nd time. They almost, xGame were able to get something done up in this top lane, substantially turning around on this Faceless Void, but he got back to base a little bit too fast there. Either way, Zeus going down for the up-teamth time, and Rubik the only casualty up towards top. This Beastmaster is a tough target to kill, and that's what happens when you have a level 1 Chronosphere on your Faceless Void, and he's greedy with it. I mean, that's pretty much the worst thing that can happen. Yeah, you have level 3 Bash. Yeah, you have a Berserker's Call, not a Berserker's Call, Battle Trance on your team. You could reasonably expect to get a couple of bashes here and there, but man, you drop the Chronosphere, you get the kill. Easy as that. Pretty much no questions asked ever. Making tea? Are you kidding? Who paused it? Bignum. Oh man, guys. Well, that's fun. Thank you guys for telling me what's going on. Sometimes you just gotta make some tea, man. I wish I had some tea right now, actually. That sounds pretty darn good, but 5-1 right now, and HEHE, they're pretty much just going to float on. They don't have any change in game plan pretty much ever, except for use Chronosphere. That's the only change in game plan I really see coming out from them. They use their Chronosphere, and then they get kills whenever Chronosphere is up. Outside of that, they don't have to do anything. They literally just have to sit back in their lanes and chill, you know, deal with the occasional xGame bouts of pressure as the Beastmaster Roar is going to be online, Omni Slash is going to be online. xGame are going to be looking for kills. But if you're HEHE, if you're packing enough vision with wards, and right now you can see the ward coverage, okay for HEHE. I mean, it's pretty good. They have vision on pretty much all of the essential spots, although this ward, yeah, it's going to be pretty useful. It sees actually very far. So yeah, this ward and this ward going to almost completely protect the Drow Ranger. Everywhere else is a little bit more dangerous, but if your Drow Ranger is getting farm, you're going to be pretty happy. And HEHE, they're just going to sit back, wait till their Visage gets to level 6, wait till this game gets to a point where xGame, their Beastmaster, is going to be falling off as far as his ability to help burst people down. The Zeus is going to be doing comparatively less damage than he is doing right now. And Juggernaut's still going to be a threat. He's got the Mask of Madness build going. He is going to be able to chop down one person pretty much every single time as long as he has that Omni Slash. But outside of that, xGame, they are going to be on a timer. And HEHE, they just don't have to worry about any of that as long as they're getting farm, and they still are. Back on the Troll Warlord is going to make it so that they're going to be able to fight early on, and that is a rather conservative pick from the Troll in this game. Yeah, it's nice to have a mech on your team. Troll is a hero that can use it because he generally has an abundance of mana. But, you know, you don't really need to expect to fight too early, too often if you're HEHE. It's a very responsive item, let's say, from the HEHE side, and that's fair enough. I mean, you can't really just go and say, okay, we're just going to wait to the late game without actually getting items to fight early on. It just doesn't work like that, so it's going to be one of those games where xGame, they're going to have to step something up. Getting the Boots of Travels on Reeves is going to help. Whoa. Whoa. Okay, that is definitely not the Visage writing, because they definitely have different plans with what they're gonna write on the map. Oh god, guys. Oh god, this is gonna be one of those games, isn't it? But Reeves, grabbing Boots of Travels first, I can only assume, as the Beastmaster, it's fine, and if you have level 6, then you're gonna be able to do a lot with it. The problem is, I mean, I don't really know if they have enough to effectively go around and kill people off this Beastmaster ultimate. Like, who's he gonna be roaming with? Probably the Zeus. That's it. Like, Beastmaster Roar is great if you have someone to follow up, and right now they're pretty much just lacking that follow-up hero. So xGame, I'm kind of concerned with their state in the game right now. Their Blink Dagger on Puck is nowhere near completion. This is gonna be a difficult game for xGame to actually step up and start to do something. Dazzle, I mean, you're pretty much off the hook just because you don't do things in this game, at least not yet, not offensive things. But HEHE, they have a very easy game plan, whereas xGame still have to execute. You know, I thought they were kidding when they said that they were going to have a long pause, but apparently 15 minutes of delay is just not enough. You need more. We need more delays, guys. I think you should make sure to go away from that TP sound. There we go. All nice. We have to stay over here. Thank you guys for tuning in, by the way. This is not exactly what I would call an enthralling game so far. When we play keys right. Man, I'm pretty sure xGame are favored, aren't they? I haven't checked the betting sites. Maybe I should. Let's see what the betting sites think. Yeah, xGame's favored 60-40 on D2L. And that's reasonable, I would say. I'd probably give them up to 70. It looks like on Best YOLO, xGame is 79 versus HEHE is 21. And that's probably a little bit too much. I would give HEHE a little bit more credit than that. But still, it's certainly going to be HEHE showing xGame what for, or showing the betters of xGame what for. Like, man, you bet all this cash, all these keys on xGame, you're going to be regretting it. Because HEHE, they're doing pretty well so far. I mean, it's not a huge lead, not by any stretch. 4 kills, 1,000 gold. You know, having lost a tower, going to even that out a little bit. Experience earns climbing, though, and their late game is also there. So, man, I have no idea what we're paused for. Some medical procedures. How long does it take to, like, you know, pop a pill, man? Not that long. Well, this is fun. It's so great that teams, like, tell people what's going on. Oh man, that is the Heroes of Newerth S2 monkey thing. Your Han is showing, Aki. Your Han is showing. Cover that up. People don't want to see your Han, man. People just don't want to see your Han. Is there anything else that's going on in this game? I'm pretty sure no. Like, there's actually just not that much. Lots of brown boots on xGame still. This is pretty much the state of the game. Like, if you look at the boot situation, that almost perfectly explains what's going on in this game. Like, brown boots. I guess this guy's technically travels, so it's like, you know, he just hasn't bought them yet. But yeah, we got real boots, except for Nihis. He's poor still. He can't afford anything but brown. But we got purple, we got green, got a little bit of red boots going on, or potentially red boots. Although I guess they're just brown. They're both green. Okay, we got a whole bunch of green boots. But this is the state of the game. If you want to know the state of the game pre 10 minutes, you look at their boots. Pro tips, guys. You guys have no idea. That is how this game works. Just look at their boots and you'll be good to go every single time. Show net worth. Man, I am showing the net worth. Jesus, what do you guys want from me? Like the graphs? If your net worth looks like that, you know exactly what the graph looks like. or pretty much. And also, there is a delay, so I'm talking to people who said stuff 2 minutes ago, which is always difficult. I wish there was 0 delay. I wish we would be able to do that. But of course, players are cheaters, and they pause for no reason, and then I'm stuck here doing jack all while I just wait for the players to come back. You can't really just pause for no reason. Like, what the hell's with that, man? That's just wrong. So many layers of wrong. Okay, there's an invis rune down here for Nico Baby. He's gonna chug 1 charge. I think, well, they're teleporting someone down to the bottom lane. It is gonna be that Rubik. We need to continue eventually. Thank you, Malaria, for that assessment. Okay, so they definitely see Vlad right now. The plan for Nico Baby, I think, just grab the invis rune, chug a charge of his bottle, then go down bottom. And Dazzle has no backup coming. And his tower is pretty diveable. You can just kill it. So... so I'm pretty sure Vlad is dead right now. Troll Warlord with phase boots can get here very quickly. And Dazzle with brown boots, he has to like leave right now. There is an observer ward over in mid lane, so they should have seen the Troll Warlord leave. But they might not know what's coming. They might not know what's coming. Man, this sucks. This is just the worst. 10 minutes have passed? Oh my god. xGame, you gotta have someone like disconnect. At least say like Skype issues or something, because that's what everyone else says. If you gotta pause for any reason, just say, sorry, Skype. And then people will be like, oh, it's Skype issues. But then after a couple minutes, it'll be like, wait, no, it's not Skype issues. You're bullshitting us. 90% of the time it works. For like 2 minutes. What the hell is going on, guys? I gotta get away from that TP noise. It's not server issues. My cat died. My house is on fire. My cat is on fire. You know, these are classics. If you gotta leave when you're playing in BattleNet, guys, if you had to leave, you gotta drop one of the classics, then you could just leave. No abandonment penalty, no leaver penalty. You might get blacklisted, whatever that means. I'm still not convinced that blacklists existed back then. Pretty sure most people were just like bluffing blacklists. Like if you leave, you will be on the blacklist. But I'm pretty sure they're all local blacklists, so like you won't play with that host anymore. You can play with anyone else though. Doesn't really matter too much if you leave, and if you really get into a situation where you can't join any more games, just make a new BattleNet account. Those are good times, simpler times in Dota 1. Simpler times Dota 1 when you don't have support heroes. They just didn't exist back then. Grab a lifestealer first pick. Go to the top lane with your 5 gauntlet build. You're good to go. You're good to go. Oh my god, are we good to go? Are we good to go? Please say this game is gonna start. Bignum, thank you for reviving. I mean, you're dead for another 6 seconds. It's not like you're gonna be doing anything anyway. He has no ultimate either way, so here we go. Troll Warlord, gonna grab the invis rune, chug a charge, and Dazzle's long gone. Vlad saw that coming from a mile away, so killing off the Dazzle maybe a little bit too difficult, but Nico Baby still will move over towards the mid lane, and killing off Bignum and or Stallcat is possible with help. If you had a Chronosphere working with this mid lane or anyone else, then okay, apparently it's not going to work because they're just going to pop the invis, but that's going to be fine because bottom lane is being very quickly destroyed. Fortification is there. Dazzle has a small chance of denying it. Oh, he missed his chance. It's pretty damn near impossible to out-deny when everyone is getting buffed up plus 34 with Battle Trance, and one of them is a Jar Ranger hitting for a very high amount of damage. Like, the odds of you sneaking your 66 damage in there to get that last hit is pretty darn low. So first tower claimed by HEHE, very easily done as well, and you know, as Troll Warlord grabs more items, he will eventually become that Wrecking Ball. Of course, it seems like this game Nico Baby is going to be playing more of that utility early game troll, so after the mech, it's usually going to be something like a Sanjin Yasha, not something that's overtly powerful, but something that can definitely get the job done with Troll's natural strength. xGame, they're going to smoke up, look to use that Omni Slash, and they're going to run to Hawa, they're going to run to Aki. Aki and Hawa both going to get obliterated at the exact same time. Oh my god. Thunder God's Wrath and the Omni Slash being used, and they're just dead. That was actually pretty sweet, guys. They all just got obliterated. So xGame going to claim 2 kills, instantly jump into that Roche Pit. Mantis with level 3 Blade Dance, level 2 Healing Ward, and Mask of Mana should keep himself very healthy. And HEHE, looks like they just don't want to fight that. Nowhere close to fighting that. They're going to go up instead to the top lane. Trading a tier 1 top lane for Roshan. Pretty reasonable there for HEHE, as they're going to get something. And even though I think they could have probably fought this one out, not having the numbers to back it up, not knowing how fast xGame are actually going to kill off Roshan, making this a much safer decision. And this tower is pretty much doomed to fall. Fortification is there, but if they want to teleport in, they're going to be teleporting into a Chronosphere, and they don't even use their fortification. A little bit of a mistake there from xGame, but it's not really going to matter too much. And well, Mantis now has double life with Mask of Madness, so this guy is able to go ham, close his eyes, slash everyone, and see what happens afterwards. So xGame, off of that Aegis, they're going to be making some pretty aggressive plays. And that's something that Aegis does for you that is not really a tangible benefit. Like, yeah, you will respawn if you die, but also enables you to play in such a way that you're going to be playing very aggressively. It inherently makes your team more aggressive, knowing that you have that defensive bonus in your pocket. That is going to lead to their push down towards bottom lane. But, as I said before, the Troll Warlord Drow Ranger combination, this is a hell of a lot of damage. Reeve's going to look to defend over in the mid lane by himself, has a TP coming in, and it's going to actually be Stallcat, not in the most trouble right now, because Neas is looking towards mid. There is a fight brewing down here. Bignum, though, Zeus, if he gets caught in the front lines, if he gets gusted, then he's pretty much just screwed, and pretty much xGame in general are screwed if they lose their Zeus. He is pretty much the linchpin. He is everything that's holding their team together as far as the damage output right now, provided Mantis either is not there or does not have an Omni Slash, and right now he has neither. Neither the positioning nor the Omni Slash to help out right now, so xGame, they need their Zeus to stay alive. They need him to not get silenced, because if he does, things are going to be bad. Him, Vlad, and Reeves now going to smoke up. Look to wrap around the mid lane, joining up with Mantis. This is going to be something that is going to lead them into a outnumbered situation, as they're going to be very close to many HEHE heroes. But they do have the bird, and this bird is going to be invaluable at spotting out actually whether or not they want to go for this one. They're going to see Nihis, but he's going to orb straight up to the high ground. That's not going to work out. This gank was kind of cute. I think it was probably more cute than anything else, actually. Like, they weren't realistically going to get anyone given the positioning of HEHE. They're all so close together, and well, now an attempted push from xGame. It's going to be hard. It's possible for them to roar and then, you know, Omni Slash the Jar Ranger or something like that. Outside of that happening, I don't really see it going anywhere. Reload doesn't have a TP because he just used it down towards bottom lane, and he doesn't even care just because he's getting farm on the Void. A Mask of Madness on him is going to be hard for xGame to punish. And this guy, Faceless Void, is going to be the slower and steadier third carry of the HEHE side. A Blink Dagger on xGame's Puck going to mean that they can now, in theory, start fights pretty much exactly the same as the Beastmaster Roar, but it's a little bit late for that. 14 minutes as an offlane Puck is a reasonable timing. It just seems like they as a team needed a lot more. This Beastmaster is holding onto a lot of cash. He's going for a Necrobook build, actually. That is a build that is consistent with the game plan of xGame's heroes, but not consistent with their execution of said heroes, if that makes any sense. Like, they have heroes that inherently want to be doing this, going for Necrobooks, pushing down things, but I don't actually know if they have been playing in such a way that would lend themselves to a pushing strategy. Of course, you know, with a little bit more bulk in the front lines, it will be nice to have those. But in general, I think I've been so far most impressed with Beastmaster builds. Well, first of all, they're going to catch Relo. Coil is there. They have the Roar. They're going to use it. Relo is in a lot of trouble, and he will get chopped down by the axes. They also are going to be running into Nihis, or at least Vlad will. He might get lifted up into the high ground. No, he won't. I think he's going to be dragged back into the Visage. That could have been a very easy kill for the HEHE side if they wanted to fully commit, or at least bring the Dazzle down very low would have been very easy. Now they know exactly where xGame all are. They have a no Chronosphere, so they're not going to fight this. They're going to lose one familiar. They might lose two with the bird vision. Yes, they're going to lose two. That's two familiars down the drain for HEHE. 200 gold going for xGame, and that's 200 gold that you never really want to be giving the enemy side, especially when the enemy side wants to be playing more aggressively than you do. So xGame get a couple kills, get a couple of boons there, but I'm still not convinced that it's going to be enough until they actually make a bigger play. They still have that Aegis on Mantis, however, at this point, it's becoming less and less likely that Mantis is actually going to collect value off of that item. He's going to be rotating around, looking for Omni Slash targets. He might run into Relo here, although I don't even think... Oh, level 2 Omni Slash. Probably won't get the kill, actually. You need to kill off the Faceless Void very quickly before you just time walks away. And level 2 Omni Slash, as powerful as it is not going to do that. Yet xGame, they're going to go for the mid lane. Not much creep wave support here. And HEHE, they have more than enough to defend this if they really want to. As long as they kill off the healing ward, that's probably going to help out a lot. But for now, it's going to be heroes woven up. Stallcat off to the side, looking for a blink coil where Relo going to try to zone him out. This tower is not being pushed, and xGame, they force everyone to the mid lane, but they don't have anyone else farming, so it doesn't really matter who's on the mid lane for who. HEHE, they're holding strong on all their towers while simultaneously getting farm on the Troll Warlord and the Drow Ranger. You can see the makings of a BKB, it looks like, for Nico Baby, although Sanjin Yasha is still not terrible. BKB is reasonable in this game. It has its counters. You're still going to get Omni Slashed. You're still going to get roared. But protecting yourself against Zeus is pretty good. And Relo is going to get coiled once again. Needs that Chronosphere to come out right about now. Where's the roar? Not there, but it doesn't matter. Faceless Void down. They're going to chase forward for more. Nihi's going to get chopped down by Mantis as Hawa up on the high ground. Going to throw a gust, but now he's going to paint himself as a target. Mantis is very fast, and he has that Omni Slash, but he will back off. HEHE get blindsided. It was about time for xGame. Because they have the bird, they're going to pretty much know exactly where the enemies are in this mid lane all the time. Of course, by the time they go with no Aegis, because that's always how it works out, it seems. Whenever you're holding the Aegis, it's like, okay, it's time to go, guys, but we just lost our Aegis. Kind of sucks, but it's fine. Because xGame get a couple kills, they take down the tower finally, and now that's pretty much what they have to do. That's the first step of what they have to do. If they do that 3 or 4 more times, then they're going to find themselves in such an overwhelming lead that HEHE, despite the fact they do have superior late game, aren't going to be able to do much about it. So xGame, as long as they have those cooldowns available, and in 32 seconds, they will have everything back up alive. They'll be able to just rinse and repeat. HEHE, they should have answers to that more often than not. Relo getting jumped first is, of course, the best case scenario for xGame, getting the Chronosphere off the board. And so far in this game, I don't believe we've even seen a single Chronosphere from Relo.
I'll take that.
So as long as they can keep initiating on the Faceless Void, then that artificially buys them like 10-20 minutes of effective game time of their team. And that could really stack up, man. No Chronosphere is not good for HEHE, especially if your Rubik is going to die. He snaps the coil. Here comes Nico Baby, doing quite a bit of damage, has the mech as well. Will pop it, but I think the Rubik is pretty much screwed. Mantis got hit with the Frost Arrow, but he will be fine. Here comes Relo, though. Has a Chronosphere. Is going to man-fight Mantis for a little while. Just use the Chronosphere, dude. Just use it. Okay, he's not going to use it. Is he going to be punished? Mantis is going to fight to the death. Relo going to drop very low. He will claim that kill there. 1-for-1 so far in favor of the HEHE side, as they're going to look for a little bit more. I don't think they're going to find anyone else. They kill off the Juggernaut. A nice pick for sure, but over towards top lane, Hawa's going to be forced back. He's going to try to clear out these creeps, and he will be successful in doing so, but still, the fact that it's xGame, and they lose the Juggernaut, not the best. They get the kill on the Rubik, yet they weren't even all there. So xGame kind of voluntarily putting themselves in a position that is just really not where you want to be at any stage of the game. Your Juggernaut kind of running around willy-nilly. Use the Omni Slash there, which is nice to have, but it's not going to save you up against 4 heroes when you're completely abandoned by the rest of the team. If xGame were the ones to initiate with the Roar, if they had Zeus as backup, if they actually were dedicated to that fight, then I'm pretty sure HEHE wouldn't have gotten away with such a great trade. But trading their Rubik for the enemy team's Juggernaut, and if they could do that every single time, they will take it every single time. Rubik doesn't need anything. Juggernaut is the one who needs everything in this game. Seems like this is going to be a very slow game, however. Mostly because xGame, they're not making any hugely aggressive plays towards anyone in particular. They're going to try to go for Hawa here. They're going to spot him with the bird, know exactly what he's going into, and here comes the boar, Roar. Hawa's in a large amount of trouble right now. Run, Drow Ranger, run. Can't even move. Sad life for the Drow Ranger. That's what happens when you go for a Mask of Madness Mantis style build. Pretty sure the Juggernaut would be, the exact same thing would happen to him, because he's gone for pretty much the exact same build as Drow Ranger. But yeah, if he had, a Zeus and a Beastmaster, Juggernaut would also be on the receiving end of that.
I'll take that as tribute.
Those types of pickoffs, those were the pickoffs that I was expecting from xGame once they hit level 6. Of course, you can't really expect, level 6, get a kill. That's the dream, but it's not always going to happen. It's so easy to get kills once you have Roar, though. The range is huge. You have the map pack vision from the Hawk. Yeah, you're going to have to occasionally worry about the Faceless Void time walking away, or anyone else interfering, just general support heroes coming in. But if you have enough burst damage, and xGame certainly do, they should be looking for those kills pretty much non-stop, or they should have been looking for those kills non-stop. And the Roar is going to be up again in 20 seconds. It's one of the lower cooldown ultimates that are actually useful for ganking. The Omni Slash, you could use the Omni Slash if you want to get the kill. It's probably not going to be the best idea though. I mean, every time you won't have it every time. Clearly. 6-8 right now, and this game is going to be a farm fest. Lucky me, I get to go into a game and cast guys just farming away. Force Staff being picked up from Dazzle. He wove nothing. He just missed. Okay, sometimes you just miss. That happens. He has a bird right next to him, so it's like, I'm just gonna weave. Why not? Gotta get that armor on the bird. Although I'm pretty sure the bird doesn't even get armor. So that happens. But Roshan is back up again. xGame are going to jump in, grab it, and then not use it. Not because they don't want to, because they can't really find the openings. At least that is my prediction for this Aegis. Mantis is going to go to town in this Roche, taking pretty much no damage from it. And this clearing of Roche should lead to a push on the bottom lane, I want to say. In xGame, they're pretty much rearing to go once they have this double life, and they will grab it, give it to Mantis. They have the level 3 Necrobook, they have the Blink Dagger on Puck. Seriously, guys, what more could you possibly ask for? More Ancients. That's fine, I guess. I don't know, I just feel like xGame might be stalling out a little bit too much. Maybe I'm underestimating the power of a late game Juggernaut. And I know it's a very powerful hero, but if they lock down the Jar Ranger and the Troll Warlord simultaneously, then yeah, the Juggernaut can get a lot done. Otherwise, he's just going to lose a damage race with these heroes. The Visage also putting out some serious damage. In the Faceless Void, we have yet to see the real damage output that he's capable of doing right now. But once the Chronosphere drops, then that with the Mask of Madness can make things pretty dangerous for the xGame side. Maybe this game we won't see a single Chronosphere. That would be something. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. I probably haven't. That's a first. A first for everything, guys. xGame, they're going to make to look a play up towards top. Weave was spotted there by HEHE, so they're just going to back off and do nothing. Maybe they lose HEHE here if an Omni Slash comes in. No. Mantis running the wrong way. I think if he just ran straight forward, he would have gotten the kill. HEHE, though, he's not in the safest position, even though he did teleport away from the dangerous position. Here comes Stallcat. Coil is there. HEHE is going to get some TP support. Zeus going to drop a lot of lightning, plus the Puck combo going to kill off the Jar Ranger. But now Bignum and Stallcat are behind the tier 2 tower, and they're going to run into a Rubik. Yule Scepter will buy Bignum a little bit of space, but here comes Relo. With the Battle Trance, Bignum is going to get torn to shreds. Where's the Puck? The Puck has already teleported away. Trading the Zeus for the Jar Ranger. For xGame, I mean, those are trades that usually teams are okay with making, but in this situation, they can't really afford to make those types of trades, just because it's going to give a lot of gold to HEHE pretty much no matter what. And if you're xGame, you don't want to be taking trades. You want to be, the ones getting the kills. They're going to try to go up on top lane, but there's still a Chronosphere online for the Faceless Void. I honestly don't know if xGame can do this without their Zeus. They might just try to go for it. I mean, Mantis still has an Omni Slash. He can put out a lot of damage to this tower, especially if HEHE just don't want to defend this. They're going to be a little bit slow in assembling the troops. Stallcat off to the side has no coil, but a blinking Puck doesn't actually need a coil to be a huge force. And HEHE, they're just going to sack this tower, really. They have a Chronosphere. I don't really know what they're waiting for. Like, instead Relo's going to get roared and killed off. And now an Omni Slash onto Nihis. Going to bounce around through a couple creeps, do a lot of damage to Aki at the same time. No one's going to die from that one. Stallcat wishing he has a coil right now, not going to get that done. That was so freaking weird. Like, really? You wait until the tower is dead, then move up, then get roared and killed. Go when your tower is alive. What? Like, are you kidding me, guys? Come on. That's not exactly an advanced play. That was a little bit of a mistake there from HEHE. The Faceless Void showing off his lack of Chronospheres once again. Seriously, man, you've had this online for like 15 minutes straight now. Just friggin' use it. Chronosphere is a skill that you want to be using every single time you have it. That, Roar, Omni Slash, like, these are skills that pretty much instantly get you kills whenever you pop it, yet he's just not using it. And what's the worst that could happen? You use it, you whiff, fine, you'll have it eventually, just because you're playing such a long game. Oh man, guys, oh man, up towards top lane, HEHE in a little bit of trouble. He's gonna man fight Mantis. I don't really know if you want to be doing that. He's going to win this race, maybe. Mantis gonna, get the bashes, okay. Yeah, once you get close to the Drow Ranger, there's not much you could actually do about it. As the Drow, you will just get torn to shreds, no questions asked. She did a lot of damage though, but Mantis was never in any real danger of dying because he has the Aegis. Had the Manta style. Once that pops, Jar Ranger not able to focus down every threat. And now Stallcat. Oh my god, guys, there's a Chronosphere in this game. Did you know that Faceless Void is in this game? Because I sure as hell didn't. Faceless Void going to claim a kill. Put your hands together for the Void. Or claim a kill for the team. Faceless Void actually did get that kill. So good job, Relo. Getting kill on the very important target, and now using the Troll Warlord's damage, going to go to town over in mid, but there is a defense available here for xGame. Juggernaut with not that much mana, but the Roar Nico Baby, he's pretty much all alone because for whatever reason, he decided it would be a good idea to leave this Troll Warlord alone to push. That seems reasonable. What could possibly go wrong if you do that? I wonder. Now that the Troll Warlord is dead, the Crackback is going to at the very least kill a tier 2 tower. HEHE are just playing very, very sloppily right now. Like, that's putting it lightly. Like, I don't really know what's going on. xGame, they waited so long to make these aggressive plays, and yet once it comes, HEHE just don't do anything. Like, you don't fight up on the top lane with just the Faceless Void. You don't walk forward once your tower is destroyed. You don't leave your Troll Warlord over in the mid lane when the rest of your team is nowhere near him. Those are just things that you don't do in Dota. Yet HEHE are making these plays, and they're getting punished for it. Unfortunately for xGame, their Aegis is going to time out, so their ability to make this push is going to be drastically decreased. It's farm time for them, I suppose. Although I expect their pressure to be remained up. They should just be constantly sitting near the enemy side of the map, constantly looking for the usage of this Omni Slash. Whenever you have an Omni Slash, that represents usually a kill. And you don't say no to kills. That's not a good idea. So HEHE, they're still pretty much on the same game plan. Get a little bit more farm, get the BKB on Relo so that he could realistically jump in Chronosphere. Get more farm on the Jar Ranger, but I mean, Jar Ranger in this game, she's a very powerful hero. She is getting a hell of a lot of farm. But again, we just saw the power of the Juggernaut, or anyone really, getting into the face of the Jar Ranger. Even the Beastmaster could, to a lesser extent, can do it. Blink forward, roar. It's not going to be a damage race that Beastmaster is going to win. But him giving his life so that the rest of the team has to deal with a lot less damage on their hands is totally worth it. It's a hard call to make, but it is going to be a call that they can make. Bottom lane tower destroyed. That's all tier 2 towers down for HEHE. Up towards top, Hollow is going to try to take this top tier 1, but you know, Puck coming in. This is actually possibly kill. Oh, missed coil. That's not a terribly huge deal, because if you miss it, no one really remembers, but if you hit it, people think you're a god. And that's a trade that's worth taking. Double BKBs from HEHE. They're getting more and more ready to fight as they accrue more gold. Problem is, they're still up against Roar, they're still up against an Abyssal Blade from the Juggernaut, and those BKBs won't do squat if they are can be faced down with Abyssals and Roars. They're going to smoke up, look towards the enemy side for a gank. Yeah, they may pick off one hero here. The odds of them getting more than one is very slim. Yeah, they'll kill the Puck, but he doesn't even have a coil right now, so... Or they could just blow the smoke and just go mid. That's good too. Sure, just go for it. I wonder what is the strategy here for HEHE. I wonder what it could possibly be. They're just going to go for a straight push? Really? I mean, I was kind of kidding. Like, are they actually just going to go for... Okay, they just want to go for a straight push. This tower is already very weakened, so going for this is very realistic. And xGame, they were out of position, vastly so. Mantis didn't have a TP. He could have wrapped around from the back in xGame. I think if they really wanted to fight this, they could have. But HEHE just doing so much damage versus those towers. Packing that threat of the Chronosphere, they're going to try to go up towards the top lane and do the exact same thing. And if xGame don't defend this one, then I will be very surprised. Like, they have the Blink Dagger Roar. You throw that onto the Jar Ranger, and that's pretty much just a one fight right there. So, I don't really know. Yeah, okay, they're going to smoke up. They're definitely going to defend this. Or are they? The tower is already pretty dead. They could still pick a fight here. Thunder God's Wrath gonna spot out. Stallcat can jump right on top of that Jar Ranger. In the meantime, Roar and everything else going the way towards Relo. They need to kill off this Faceless Void before his Chronosphere come out, but he's going to actually die. Now the spin stolen from HEHE is actually, it's gonna be Reason the most trouble. He's Shadow Graved up. Mantis still chopping away onto Hollow. The coil gets dropped only onto one, however. Despite the fact that everyone is clustered up, they're gonna kill off the Jar Ranger. Now gonna go towards Aki. Mantis is gonna grab himself a triple. Nico Baby gonna try to chase down Vlad Bignum. Gonna get neither. HEHE is gonna be the one to fall. One more puck shot gonna make short work of him. Now chasing forward for Nico Baby. This Troll Warlord is going to get it with the poison touch, and that should be his death. Mantis closing in fast. Evasion not going to do it. Zeus is going to bolt him down. 9-17 xGame. Trade 1 for 5. Yes, they do lose their tier 2 tower, but Juggernaut running around without answers. It's important to kill off the Beastmaster, it really is, but once he uses the Roar, his priority, or his position on the priority list plummets. and suddenly he's not really worth your attention anymore. You need to be focusing down this Juggernaut every single time if you're HEHE. You need to get him Chronosphere. You need to start bashing him. You need all this to happen, but none of that happened. Once again, Chronosphere failed to come out, as Faceless Void was pretty much chain stunned to hell and back. I'm pretty sure it was just roar into general attack speed bashing shenanigans from Mantis. Maybe the Abyssal was thrown in there as well. Man, the Faceless Void didn't have a chance to do anything there. Like, he actually just couldn't do anything. Even though, if he was unbashed for a second, if Chronosphere could have stopped that entire fight, would have led to his survival. xGame, they're going to claim a huge fight and then decide not to push in. They're feeling it right now. I mean, they are accruing a lot of advantage, and even though the enemy team, yeah, they have a Troll Warlord and Faceless Void, they're clearly just not able to put as much damage out as this Juggernaut right now. The Juggernaut going to get maybe to a Butterfly or something like that. Maybe to an MKB to deal with this evasion from the HEHE side. And all these possibilities for Mantis, as he's getting a crap ton of gold. Next game, they don't really want to sit back on this for too long. As though they did take the last fight very well, the next fight is by no means guaranteed to go that well. If a stun goes the way of Juggernaut, if Hawa's in the back and not in the front, like, that's the start of a bad fight if your Jaw Ranger is the one getting jumped by a puck. HEHE, they still have a lot of fight in them. So xGame, if they are too complacent, if they decide to sit back for a little bit too long, then they're probably going to end up regretting it down the line. But for right now, Roshan is going to be the objective. Third Roshan, so Cheese and Aegis. Hawa is going to lay into that big guy with his lifesteal at double damage. Roshan spotted by xGame, but it's a little bit too late. The bird is going to see it. Oh, actually, here comes Vlad. Here comes Stalkout with a huge coil. Reed's going to get the roar on the high ground. However, the Chronosphere is there. Relo's doing absolutely nothing within it. He's actually dying from the outsets because Mantis is omni-slashing all the while. That's going to be 2 kills. Actually, no, just an Aegis right now. Faceless Void is back, but he's going to get obliterated shortly after. Hawa going to try to TP out. Dragon Blast for the kill. And xGame clean house. Yeah, they don't end up grabbing that Aegis cheese status. Grabbed by the Juggernaut. That Chronosphere, though it did come out, and Chronosphere is one of those dominant Roshan AoE teamfight skills, it doesn't matter if you're getting Omni-Slash, if you're perma-stunned all the while. Like, I don't know how that happened. Something stunned him. It was the roar, and then I believe something else, because he's stunned for a very long time. Could not land a single hit. I'm pretty sure the Troll Warlord was either on the outer edge of that Chronosphere or in it. Either way, Mantis was Omni-Slashing him all the while. HEHE, they grabbed the Aegis, but that's a pretty large price to pay for getting absolutely wiped. Mantis has no Omni-Slash, but he still has Cheese. So he is able to do pretty much whatever he wants right now. He's going to get gusted, force staffed out from the Jaw Ranger's damage. Mantis has backup here. They need 15 seconds for this roar to be back online. HEHE already buying back with pretty much everyone. They're going to make this defense, but it's expensive. It's certainly expensive. And I don't think this push is really going to stop. Mostly because Juggernaut has the cheese. And xGame, if they wait for the next Roshan, that timer might be a little bit too large. They already got HEHE to buy out. It's a lot of gold out of the HEHE's pockets, and they're not going to be farming during this time. So, playing it safe for now, grabbing another item or two is fine. But xGame, they're going to be playing it super cautiously. Next push should happen in 20 seconds. Yeah, their Omni-Slash is going to be up then. And that is pretty much going to result into a kill. Makes you Chronosphere proof as well, or for the most part, Chronosphere proof.
I'll take
Wait, did they change it so that the Omni-Slash is stopped in Chronosphere? I know they changed something like that. I just don't quite remember what happened. Man. It seemed like it was hitting through the Chronosphere, so I'm going to say that Mantis doing some work, even with that Chronosphere to worry about. But xGame, they're going to start the split push game. They have enough power within their heroes to do whatever they want and go wherever they want, and probably not get punished substantially by anything HEHE have. Are they just going to sit back, though? They have cheese, no Aegis. And this is pretty much the gameplay of xGame in a nutshell. This is what they like to do. They like to play the game very slow, very steady. Get Mantis a lot of farm. It sometimes lends themselves to situations where they end up throwing the game. That's why, like, xGame, they are characteristically like a team that is known to throw a lot. That's fine. Right now, it's not going to lead them into any bad situation. They're going to throw a roar towards the Jaw Ranger, forcing out another BKB charge, now down to 7. So those small plays, just whittling down the HEHE's defenses. Juggernaut, he's ready to go right now. xGame, pretty sure they're all ready to go, but they're just not going. Yeah, they're just chilling, man. They're actually going to be pretty happy about this. Like, they know that they're not ahead right now. They know that they're pretty much on the ropes right now. Yet xGame, they're not going to land that Alpha Strike. And the longer this doesn't happen, the longer the attack is stalled out, the more farm Nico Baby and HEHE are going to get. The more chances HEHE have at taking a team fight where they actually let their Chronosphere drop and it catches 2 heroes from xGame. The dream is certainly real for HEHE. And the longer xGame stall out, the more chances they'll have to throw this game. Relo, gonna charge forward, once again, not gonna drop that Chronosphere. At this point, saving it is good. But, you know, should have told him that 15 minutes ago. Use it, guys. Use your Chronospheres. But HEHE, they're just gonna be on the defense 24/7. Roshan is not gonna be up for a very, very long time. Oh man, this is gonna take forever, isn't it? Guys, just go. You have a Blink Dagger Hex on Puck. You have an Aghanim Scepter on Zeus. What more could you possibly want? Like, actually, what more could you possibly want? This Juggernaut could sell out his Mask of Madness, buy an Assault Cuirass or something like that. Something that is going to help you survive, you know, pseudo lifesteal with the armor. I guess just effective HP in general. It's not lifesteal at all, but he has Vlads. There we go. There we go. Here we're going to go in. They have the Roar back up. And this melee rack is going to take quite a beating. Fortification is there this time, but Reeves is looking for an opportunity to jump in. Where is that opportunity going to be? He doesn't want to use it on Aki. He's waiting for that Draw Ranger. And now I do think they see HEHE. Reeves. Where's that jump in? Relo's going to jump in first, though. He's going to immediately get hexed from the outskirts, though. Stallcat is there. Now he can land a 2-man coil onto Nico Baby. HEHE's going to take a beating from Mantis. He's going to drop first. Now Nico Baby going to fight to the death, but Mantis is going to pop the cheese. Going to go toe-to-toe with Nico Baby. There's the Omni Slash, which will kill off 2. Which will kill off 3. That's GG. It's going to claim a 4th Ultra kill for Mantis. Omni Slash plus Man Fight. That Butterfly and Abyssal combo. Giving them so much value. And just like that, the game is over. So much waiting, guys. So much waiting. All it takes is one fight, and that is going to be that. Game 1 is in the books. xGame going to lead the series 1-0 over HEHE in this best of 3, guys. I'm Mike Loris. I've been your caster, and I will be back for Game 2 between xGame and HEHE to decide who is going to have a chance at getting into Division 1 for jDL4.